Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your weekly reading for February 19th to the 25th. This is for Scorpio and Scorpio rising, and we're going to jump right into it. It is a loaded week. So, Scorpio, you are probably going through some really big radical changes. You know, Aquarius represents the radical, right? So, but then just seeing what's been going on for y'all, oh my goodness, you are definitely in a different place in your life, and you could have had a lot of deep desires activated or happening in the past few weeks. You may be even like conjuring them, all this Pluto activity. Now, this is going to be a really big week for you, Scorpio. Okay, so let me tell you what's going on. Before we even start the week, we moved into Pisces season on Sunday. All right. So February 18th, we officially moved into Pisces season. This blends well with you. It's very spiritual Pisces season, a lot of deep reflection, a lot of imagination going around. I really love Pisces season, but it is your BFF, okay? Your fellow water sign there. So I do feel that you are going to have a lot of really good moments because Pisces represents your fifth house of pleasure, of love, of romance, family, children, recreation, procreation, so sex too. Yes, that is a big thing. And yes, this is the week where Venus conjunct Mars. So before we even get there, I want to just remind you that Saturn is moving forward now. You're going to start feeling a little bit more Saturn. Saturn is the taskmaster planet, the planet of responsibilities, makes things a little, gives that big squeeze. And so just think of yourself as like climbing this mountain, okay? How prepared are you? Everything that you want is at the top of the mountain. All right. I hope you're not wearing flip-flops. Hope you got some water with you. So just be prepared because Saturn is, again, you're going to feel a lot more of Saturn. Okay. And so the good thing is that Saturn rewards you in the end. So you will make it up that mountain. It just depends on how prepared you are. Okay. So it is, again, Saturn and the sun in Pisces, right? And Neptune in Pisces, all in your fifth house. So a lot of activity and attention. Think of the sun putting a spotlight on everything that brings you pleasure, things related to home and family. All right. Even significant other, because, there is that overlap that we're seeing with Pluto and Aquarius in your home sector. All right. Your fourth house. All right. So one other thing that, let's do it. So the first half of the week, Scorpio, moon in Cancer. Okay. Again, you listen, this is absolutely amazing because as I said, there's already this feeling of just feeling a lot more like spiritually active, a lot more intuitive, being in touch with their intuitive side for y'all already with this week. But now with the moon in Cancer, the third water sign, it's really like you are going to have, your intuition really heightened. Okay. And I really want you to pay attention to your intuition because, Pisces energy is very dreamy. Okay. So you could be getting messages through your dreams. Now, the other thing is with the moon in Cancer, that rules your ninth house of spirituality. I mean, oh my goodness, like you are going to feel this. Like it really is. You could also like be planning like long distance trips and, there could be some moments there, but it is, the moon does rule Cancer. I mean, it's at home in Cancer. So it's a really feel good moment, but it's a lot of emotions. You could be feeling very emotional. I mean, you are Scorpios, right? But it's like that nurturing emotion that you may feel, and you may feel it from others as well. Now, Wednesday, the big day, Venus conjuncting Mars. This is a huge, huge deal. And there is something very radical about this as well. They're both conjuncting in Aquarius in your fourth house. Okay. So home matters, foundations of home, your significant other, your parents, your children, real estate, things that have to do with home, right? So this is a really strong conjunction. This is Venus and Mars. All right. The interesting thing about this is that you can trace back, you can go back in time and see like what happened the last time Venus and Mars conjuncted. It happened 2 years ago, right? But Pluto wasn't there. So Pluto's bringing a whole new, vibe, I guess, to this mix. So it really is kind of like a three-way dance because Pluto is very powerful. Now, this is why it's going to affect you so much, Scorpio. Mars is your traditional ruler and Pluto is your modern ruler. So you have your two rulers at play on this day. You will feel it. You absolutely feel it. And this is the first time we've had Venus, Mars, and Pluto in Aquarius. Remember, first time in history, every person living alive right now has never experienced Pluto in Aquarius. Remember, that happened 250 years ago. So very interesting. So if you cannot look back and see what happened because Pluto wasn't there before, when Venus conjuncted Mars, this is a time to create a new path for yourself, all right? Remember, Pluto is power, it's empowerment. Really, really take, and maybe that's a sign with my thing not going off, but or my mute button. But so definitely take advantage of this and really, really feel that just own your power, right? Own your power. And now Venus conjuncting Mars. Very charismatic. You could feel very charismatic this day. Others could be very charismatic around y'all. I want you to remind you, okay? Mars is very masculine, all right? Venus is very feminine. Mars is a little aggressive. Venus is very diplomatic, right? And so, opposites do attract. And when these two planets get together, the stars do align, all right? So first things first, just a lot of chemistry here. And yes, a lot of sexual chemistry as well. And again, I'm only mentioning that for y'all because there's a lot of that in what's happened for y'all. But if you're not here for that, creativity is such a big thing here. All right. Venus is all about creativity. So I really love that. And there could be moments where you are just moved by, creative things, or you could feel very creative around this time. Take advantage of this aspect, please, because it's not happening again for another 2 years. So really putting wheels in motion, during Aquarius season, it was all about setting that vision for yourself, right? Because Aquarius is the visionary. And so now you want to really climb that mountain. You want to climb that mountain toward the things that you deserve at the top of the mountain. Aquarius does rule technology. So if you are single, I'm not even joking. You've better put dating apps, okay? We're talking about technology here and Venus with Mars, okay? So get on those dating apps. You'll never know. You could be, and Aquarius actually also does rule astrology. Aquarius rules, all things in space. So you could even have these cosmic, kismet, divine moments to say. Please take advantage of this. Please take advantage of this. Do not sit at home binge watching, the Housewives of Orlando or whatever all day long. Take advantage of this day and get the things that you want. Okay. Now on the 22nd, Mercury will move into Pisces. So now you see a huge buildup in your fifth house of pleasure and love. Mercury in Pisces, I always say it's like poetry in motion. It's so nice. I, personally feel like a lot of nostalgic energy coming up around this time for everyone. There is a lot of, again, intuition is really at play here. Okay. And remember, Mercury is a planet of communication. So you could be, like when I said earlier about your dreams, pay attention to your dreams. You may be dreaming a lot and your dreams could be telling you things. So really, really being in touch with your intuitive side is going to be a big thing. So the other thing is that it really is, remember I mentioned Saturn. Okay. And here's the reason why I'm really mentioning Saturn. All right. Is because you will be feeling Saturn a little bit more, but also we're approaching the Saturn Kazemi next week. Okay. So really pay attention to this because it really is a time to bring all the things that you're dreaming about. Bring a reality to them now. All right. Saturn, I feel like, is going to help you in that regard. And remember, Saturn rewards you. But at this point, we have the Sun, Mercury, Neptune, and Saturn in Pisces. So now you see the buildup in Pisces in your fifth house of pleasure and love and romance and creativity. So really, really nice for y'all. Okay. Now on the 23rd, Venus is squaring Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter and Saturn are actually harmonious right now. So, just for this day, it really is just go socialize. All right. Just, do things that your heart desires, right? Jupiter expands. So I just want you to if you feel like things are go treat yourself this day. All right. Go get a, head massage. Now on the 24th. Oh my goodness. This is the big thing. Okay. We have the full moon in Virgo. Now, Scorpios, y'all, this one is really, really big. This is absolutely huge. Here's the thing about this full moon. First of all, it's in Virgo. So it's like, a time, full moons are like a time to reflect, and you're going to have that energy anyway this week, all week long, Scorpio. And so it could be a time for deep reflection for you. Remember, full moons also culminate things. There could be some sort of turning point around this time as well, things coming to an end. I feel that strongly for y'all. But how I was saying earlier, like with Venus, Mars, Pluto at play, and you can't look back and see what Pluto did with Venus and Mars. Here, you can look back and see what happened to you September 14th, 2023. What were some things that you were thinking about? What were conversations you were having? This full moon corresponds to that new moon that was in Virgo at that time. Okay. So think about, seeds you may have been planting. There could be something around that time where you do see something, some activity around this full moon. Saturn, by the way, and another reason why I'm talking about Saturn so much, is going to be opposite this full moon and Mercury. So Saturn can be a little bit burdensome, but this is more about you reflecting and having this realization there is something that's got to go. Something's got to go. I got to put something to bed to really commit to these new things that I have going for me, or this new vision I have for me. Or even if you're on, a path and you want to stay on that path, just, really, really thinking about if you're on that path, what is the thing that may be holding me back, right? You could also, around this full moon, it really is like, you could get like important news around this full moon. It is a big one. Now, here's the thing about this full moon in Virgo. Two things actually, Scorpio, for you. One, it is in your 11th house of your hopes and wishes and dreams. And that's why I want you to just keep going. I want you to climb this mountain, okay? Don't wear flip-flops, all right? Now, the other thing is 11th house is your social network, community, groups you belong to, organizations you belong to. So there could be something happening there around there, all right? Coming to an end around there. It could be maybe even a friendship, But Jupiter will trine this full moon, which is absolutely amazing. Jupiter is a planet of good luck and good fortune. So I really love that. And Jupiter, as you know, is in your 7th house of partnership. So there could be something there. So let's do it. All right, Scorpio, let's go ahead and get started. See what's going on for you for February 19th to the 25th. Again, for Scorpio and Scorpio rising. If you want to read for your moon and your Venus, all those other placements, you are absolutely welcome to. I would actually recommend both. They're both, obviously with the full moon, Anyway, it's up to you. So Scorpio, let's get started. Now, Scorpio, you see that we're joined by my dog here, who is taking up all the table space again. And Scorpio, I'm just gonna say it right now. This is gonna be a week. It's gonna be a week. Okay. So here's the thing. You're definitely gonna feel some Saturn energy. You're definitely gonna feel a little bit of like, one of the biggest things here is to communicate. There could be some new things that you are actually seeking, and it may be a little bit hard for you to. And there is a reason why, and I'm gonna tell you why. But let's get started. Look at you getting the moon. Okay, you got the moon. So you could already be going through some what's going on? Like, especially emotionally too. Remember, a lot of activity in these water signs, like really amping up that emotional energy. But the moon is attributed to Pisces in tarot. How interesting is that? So remember, we have a bundle of planets in Pisces, all right, in your 5th house of pleasure and love and romance. So there could be some things that you're maybe really thinking about. There is a little bit of like distress that comes with this card, and it's really more about like facing your fears. If you do have, like, if you are going through emotional experiences, really, really feel them. Really, really feel them to evolve, okay? Don't bottle things up inside. Really, really have, and again, communication, it looks like it's going to be really important for you this week. All right. Seems like it's going to be very important for you this week, but even with the moon just showing up, again, just do some of that deep reflection here. All right. And one of the reasons why I'm going to show you, you see the Hermit, his face is in the moon, right? This is card 18. 1, 8 equals 9. 9 is the Hermit card. So why is that so interesting? Because the Hermit is Virgo, and we have this full moon in Virgo. Anyway, so remember, just keep moving forward. Climb up that mountain, even if it feels like, maybe it's a mountain made out of quicksand. Get to the part where it gets like a little bit, like harder and like less watery. Anyway, you got the 9 of Wands in the heart of your spread. So it does seem like there is a sense this week, again, that big squeeze that I was talking about, you're really, it seems like you're going to persevere. It seems like you are going to feel a little bit of like, what do I do? But, I love the 9 of Wands because it is not giving up.
Okay. And, I've made this reference in the past, think about like 5th grade math class, right? When your teacher had that poster of the cat hanging from the tree. This is that poster. Okay. Don't give up. Hang in there. And this is that card. So it seems like this week there may be a lot that you're taking on. And it could even feel like in a defensive way. It's this week where you just may feel, remember, it is a very emotionally driven week, and Scorpios, y'all, come on, y'all are Scorpios. So really, really hang in there and have that, commitment to move forward, which is going to raise a lot of your self-confidence, self-worth this week. This card is attributed to Sagittarius, by the way, which is your second house of self-worth and self-value and the value you bring to things. But what's really tricky here is that you do have the 10 of Cups in your challenge area. So when I'm looking at your entire spread here, I really want you to do that deep soul searching. And the reason why is because you have the 10 of Cups in your challenge area. So there could actually be things like at home where it's just like, okay, what's next? What do I do next? Like this, where you may be at like some standstill or something where you're just like, okay, what happens next? And that could be like the part that's bringing up all these emotions. But there is also a sense of, what's coming through for me is asking yourself, like, am I really happy? Okay. I want you to do that. In order to understand that, you really have to, dive deep and do a little bit more of like intuitive work. And y'all are so natively intuitive, Scorpios. Okay. So really just at the end of the day, like, be your authentic self. Okay. Be your authentic self and really tune in to, like, again, this is such a emotionally heightened, but intuitively heightened week. Like you're just going to feel it. You're going to feel it. So it really is a matter of you asking yourself, what is next? What is going to make me happy? Am I putting on a show for everyone else? That could be a possibility where you don't want to do that. You want to be your authentic self, right? So keep that in mind. Now, 3 of Wands, okay, with the 3 of Swords. So you are definitely going to go through some emotional experiences, some that are possibly going to be like pretty impactful, but it feels like, again, everything that you're going through, like I said earlier with the Moon card, any emotions that you feel this week, it's to help you evolve. It's to help you, really become a stronger person, right? And so 3 of Wands in your crown, this is really great. I really love that for you because it is all about, self-discovery, really going within, but also like discovering what's out there, and you have to be at a certain comfort level to go see what's out there. All right. So remember, don't definitely feel your emotions, tap into your emotions, communicate everything that you have to communicate this week, but don't bottle anything up. Okay. And stingers in. Okay. Stingers in this week, Scorpios, my Scorpios, 3 of Swords and the root of your spread. All right. So there is a sense of, there could be something where, 2 things here. One, something is definitely going to be like, okay, like what, I really, really, really want this. I feel like I'm walking up a mountain made out of quicksand, okay? And so there is this, you have to figure out like how to pivot around this, and maybe you brought like a lasso, and that's going to help you. Remember, just be prepared for this week. But there could be something with partnerships, relationships. I mean, this card is actually attributed to Saturn and Libra. Libra is a native ruler of partnerships and relationships. But there is, again, with the Moon here, with the 10 of Cups in your challenge area, even like just everything else that's happening here, Libra actually rules your 12th house, Scorpio, and 12th house is the subconscious and it is intuition. So again, there is another message echoing, like, trust your intuition. You may be in your head a lot. Go here. Go to your pineal gland. Trust your intuition. You're going to get through all of this. Lastly, you got the 4 of Pentacles in your future. So it looks like there is possible money related matters too that is here. I mean, it is money and wealth here, right? Here's the thing. Remember I said this is a Sagittarius card, and that is like in your second house, self-comfort, your self-worth and whatnot. Second house is also money. All right. It's money, it's salary. And then, it's showing here that could be something that is on your mind. If not, it's just like, 4 is all about order, right? And so it's putting things in order, and it could be like you moving into, more of awareness of like, what I need to feel comfortable financially financially, having that financial security. But it also, remember, there's so much activity happening in your fourth house. Remember what I said, foundations of life. This is your foundation. So really, really putting in order the foundations of your life. And it seems like in order to do that, you may have to have some emotional experience this week, especially when Venus and Mars conjunct. That is going to be very powerful. And remember, Pluto, your ruling planet. I've always said, Pluto asks, are you going to own me? You're going to fear me. And so this is a week you're going to own it. You're going to own Pluto. You're going to say, Pluto, sit. I'll even clarify that for you. You got the high priest. I mean, come on. When I say like, just trust, come on. You don't. Scorpio, don't play with me. All right. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, the high priestess. So all about intuition here. Now, this is all intuition. This is such a passive card. This is staying still, going within, going to your pineal gland, your third eye, your sixth sense, really going within. I mean, every answer that you have is deep within you. And so there could be a sense again this week where it maybe even be like you doubting yourself. And I really, really want you to like strongly ask yourself, am I happy in this situation? If not, how do I fix it? Okay. Because you want to be happy and you have the high priestess in your future. So that's always a really good sign because, you know, the high priestess only comes out when she needs to tell you, trust your intuition. Maybe you're not trusting your intuition. You got the high priestess on your side. I really love that. You know, it's really interesting here because, you know, she basically is like the moon goddess, right? And you already got the moon. So you see your book ended by two moons here. You even see the sliver of the moon at her feet and even in her headdress, like the phases of the moon. But anyway, you get what I'm saying here. Trust your intuition. That's going to make all the difference. Let's get to your stuff, Scorpio. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, all that fun stuff. I know you love doing it. And if you are a subscriber, thanks so much for being here. Y'all are amazing. Did I even mention my dog's up here? I forgot to mention that, taking up all my table space. I wouldn't be here without you, so I am truly grateful. Really do appreciate it. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. You're listen. I really, really want you to communicate this week, okay? I don't want you to bottle anything up inside. Of course, with Venus there, you know, communicate very diplomatically. You're going to have Mercury in Pisces, so a lot of conversations around family about, remember how I said, all these planets in your fifth house of pleasure. And with the 10 of Cups in your Chandra era, you've got to ask yourself, am I happy in this situation? Am I getting the pleasure that I'm seeking? You know, like have those moments. Go within. Okay, Scorpio, but you're good. You're absolutely good. You got the 8 of Swords. Where it falls in your spread, all it's saying is like, get out of your head. All right? Get out of your head. We refer to this card as like the self-victim card. And you see she's blindfolded, bound. She's surrounded by swords. She thinks she's, you know, built this fortress where the reality is she built this prison. Okay? Prison of her thoughts, right? Because swords are the mental suit. And so, again, this is just saying like, there may be some things you have to communicate. You know, swords are communication too. So there are things that you will have to communicate. Here's your affirmation. And it's also being honest with yourself. Remember what I said from the very beginning, being authentic, and facing your fears, which I said from the very beginning, like there's owning Pluto, right? Like this is going to be a time for you to do that. What's really interesting about this, it's getting my goat, is that the 8 of Swords is attributed to Gemini. It's a Gemini card. And Gemini happens to rule your 8th house, okay? That's you rule that, okay? So it's just very interesting how everything just like unfolds here. But you know, that is all about transformation and death and rebirth. There really is something like, I want you to ask yourself, what do I have to let go? What is not bringing me pleasure? What do I need to do to have pleasure? Like, am I really truly happy? Now, you also got the Emperor. I love the fact that you got the Emperor too with the High Priestess. Very interesting, very powerful. I mean, honestly, you could have like really psychic vibes this week, by the way. Like your intuition could be heightened to like a whole other level, like to the 13th dimension, if that even exists. But there, with the Emperor here, by the way, in your external factors area, there could be someone very powerful in your life, and it could be someone, I'm getting more of like someone who may be causing you to ask yourself, Am I happy with this? All right. And it can be career, it can be home, it can be family, it can be love, it can be your BFF, it can be, your neighbor, it can be, Larry David, whoever it is, right? Whoever for you, Scorpio. But with the Emperor here, there is someone that maybe feel like like bringing that pressure. I mean, the Emperor is the Emperor. Like he makes it calls, he calls the shots, he's the ruler, right? The other thing is it can be really helpful for you. I think that the Emperor here is actually really good looking at your entire spread. If there is someone in your life that, the Emperor is traditionally like, the father, right? Like the daddy of tarot. So it could be like a parental figure as well. But even still, at the same time, it really is with a week so powerful like this, where a lot of these aspects are asking you to like take control, take charge, take power, to own your power. Use it. You do it. And then there could be someone very influential that helps you with that. Okay. Someone that really helps you get out of this, space where you feel like maybe there is this wall. Remember, we had, those squares, right, recently. So build that wall that you need to break through. Now, speaking of breakthrough, here's a breakdown. You got the tower. Now, I'm not saying you're breaking down. It's a tower here that's collapsing, but where it falls in your spread, very, very interesting. Some of y'all are holding on to things that are not like meant for you. Okay. Some of y'all are holding on to things not meant for you and you don't want it to collapse. So you have to ask yourself, is this truly good for me? Is this truly bringing me pleasure and happiness? All right. But there's a lot of y'all that just want to like kind of like burn it down, build it up, burn it down, build it up. Definitely could have to do with home related matters, like in terms of like, okay, we've been living at this place for 10 years now, and we're comfortable with the rent and stuff like that, but we just had a kid and now we got to do you know what I mean? Like now we got to like do something different. We actually have to leave our comfort zone to go into, get into a new place. I have no idea why I'm doing that with my hand, but you get what I'm saying. So just have that realization. Go within. Okay, go within. This card is actually attributed to Mars, and then you have the Emperor, who's Aries, whose ruling planet is Mars. So Mars, remember, very active this week in your fourth house. All right, in your fourth house of home, foundations of life. Right, with the Four of Pentacles here now. Queen of Pentacles in your final outcome. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You're going to be good. You're going to be really good. Just communicate. Communicate is the biggest thing, but also like there is, again, it just feels like there is going to be a sense of you building this world that you want to build for yourself, having the resources to do it. It feels like that is a thing that you want with the Four of Pentacles here, with the Nine of, actually looking across your cross. But it seems like that may be something like just the foundations of your life, okay? That there is a sense of like, having the resources to build this world that you want to live in. All right. Remember I said that earlier. Again, like you may have these dreams and your visions. This is the week to bring reality to them now. All right. But there is a lot. I mean, that's such a, auspicious card. As you know, she's the richest queen. So you're absolutely fine. You're absolutely good. Just keep going up that mountain. Okay. Do scorpions crawl fast up mountains? I think so. Yeah, you got this. The other thing is she is Capricorn. Okay. And so that is your third house of communication. So like I was saying this whole time, just communicate the things that you need. And even with your like spirit guides, right? With it being like a spiritual week, like things that you find strength in, all of that. Just be open, have those meditative, reflective moments. Scorpio, you've got this, okay? And you got the Queen of Pentacles. Hey, you're good. It is definitely, obviously, going to be an emotionally impactful week, but just be you, be authentic, explore the things that you need to explore within you. The biggest thing is asking yourself, am I happy in a certain situation? This full moon in Virgo, as I mentioned, is pretty big, okay? It's pretty big. So there could be something that you're like, I need to just, okay? But okay, anyway, Scorpio, you're great. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. Scorpio, this is so scorpionic. And next week, oh my diddly days. Next week we have the Cazimi, we have the Mercury Cazimi, we have the Saturn Cazimi. I mean, it's like Cazimi week, okay? And then, oh gosh,
really good aspects with Jupiter, really good partnership stuff happening for you next week. Anyway, okay, we'll talk about that next week. Thanks so much, Scorpio. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.